Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 17th of November 2017. First of all, thanks to all of those who gave me feedback on yesterday's Market Alert and wanting more about the test bars. And then yesterday afternoon, the penny dropped and I realised that I've actually written or recorded several videos about this, covering all aspects of it. And you can see here it's Trading Edge Strategy price bars. And if you scroll halfway down this page, you will find them under additional trading videos. So log in and so you will find them there. You'll have to scroll down a bit, a lot of videos on here, but as you work down you'll find them there. We cover all of the professional buying bars, selling pressure bars, up thrusts, all of the different types, where they appear in the market and what to expect as they appear in the charts. So that's where they are. And feel free to go and view them. Right, so in the pound on Thursday, hesitated a bit there, so I was just thinking, why don't we add these bars into here as well, so you can see how the money is sloshing in and out of these markets. Sometimes it's just nice to have the additional information so you can get a better idea. And immediately, let me save this because otherwise I'll be putting those back on. And immediately you can see that the start of the session, let's just get the right tool, you can see that the market started with a bit of buying. It was met immediately by selling. They tried to bring it back, but the volume was less, and then they sold heavily in. And then this price bar, I've got to add this one in because I've mentioned this before in other videos. There's another one here. The market moves lower, comes back. Generally, it would close around about here. The closing flag would be here, but it's just a little bit higher there. But you can see, again, you've got a situation here where the market's hit a psychological line. You can see they're buying, they're testing the market, no more selling around. There's an attempt to move to the downside there, and then immediately the market is forced to the upside. We're back above the 20 bar average, and we trade straight up to the next upside target, which is 132. Bit of weakness along the way, but the market doesn't sell off from these points. It's just that there's a bit of potential profit taking along the way. And then here you've got that same activity. This one sticks above the average, again not indicated because I've got to come up with some sort of formula for it. Back to the resistance, as you'll see here, the market goes through, but doesn't breach the low of this bar, neither is the low of this bar breached either. And then we see the market moving back to the upside again. But this time, even though there are indications here, it's very low volume inactivity going into the evening session. But then on the overnight, we see the Asian market. And again, once you've got these bars highlighted, it's easy to see what's actually going on. You've got Asian market coming in, and you'll see the prices drive through the resistance on buying. Sorry, let's try that bar, shall we? And then there was a bit of selling in the next bar, but it managed to hold above this. And again, if you look at this bar, I'm just going to do this again. You can see it's come off the lows, volume's high. So even though this is classed as selling, it's coming off those lows. It's not staying on the lows as in this one here. So again, an interesting bar, same as these bars. And again, the low's not breached. See the buying coming in, market moves high. There's a bit of a selling there in that one, but that's a very quiet bit. Then all of a sudden we get a blast to the upside. And as soon as you see what's happened here is very simple. The speculators have been able to see that there's not much activity around. They've hit the market big style. Those that were half asleep have come into the market on this bar. And the problem is we're coming in on this bar. The people that were in on this one sold to them, so they managed to hold the market on the highs. There's selling pressure coming into the market, which you can see the volume's greater than the previous bar, and then they try to buy the market back. They absorb some of the selling, but unfortunately there's no follow through. There's no new money coming in to move the prices to the upside, and that's what's happening there. and then the weakness comes in, the attempt doesn't work, and then all of a sudden everybody bails it, stops a hit out of the market, and then once the selling's disappeared, because we get a pogo stick in a test at the 20 bar average, the market then moves back again. There's a bit more participation, and now we're into the first start of the day where there's a bit of a scrap going on at the moment at this level, where you can see there's been a bit of selling. They brought the market back, and what's crucial here, as you'll see from the videos, is the market, if I use this tool it would be better, let me just take that out, is the market doesn't take out the low of this professional buying bar. If it does, then it's likely to move lower. But that's the situation you've got on an intraday basis. And again, if you watch the videos, you'll and spend a bit of time, then you'll be able to read the markets very clearly, what these professionals are doing. And again, let's add these in on the daily chart, because obviously it gives us a bigger picture of how the big money is moving around in the markets as well. So let's have a look. We've got nothing major around here at the moment, nothing jumping out. We certainly see the selling at the top here as the market then moves lower. That's sort of price action there, but not the volume to accompany it. And then we're just being sideways, and the volume's really not been a huge or great deal. Yesterday we did see an increase in volume as it started to move to the upside. The reason this is not highlighted is because the opening price isn't down in the bottom part of the bar, it's around the 50% area, and that's why. But the market breaking the 132.28 level there. News-wise today, what have we got? Last day of the week's been a heavy news week this week. Super Mario's out at 8:30. Bubba Weidman speaks from the Eurozone at 1 p.m. Housing starts building permits, and that's a lot for this week. So again, don't know why Super Mario is being wheeled out. He's been very busy this week, along with Barmy Carney and Yellen. Let's have a look at the Dow for yesterday, and immediately we see the market driving through the resistance here, which is going to be 23,400, and then immediately some profit taking, but then we see them buy back with the green bars. We see them testing the market there as well, even though it's not highlighted. You can see the volume is still larger than the previous, it's high, rather above the average. We then get a potential entry point there, and then we see the market moving on. Then it's free to move. They've done what they needed to do in this area where they've had the fight. The buyers have won again, sell the VIX, buy some of the Dow futures or S&P futures, and then bring the market up. Bit of potential weakness as the market goes up, but I'll show you another trick with these bars. When you see this potential weakness, if you come up to markup and then take 50%, when you get a red bar like this, just take 50% and you'll see the market, if it remains bullish, will not close below. There's a lot you can do with this, and eventually you'll see there in this bar here, I might just have to remove this one, and then don't know why that's not playing ball, probably because I'm near the moving average line, doesn't like it for some unknown reason, so the average line is playing with that. But here you will see where the market will have closed 50% below, and then stop that. So again, they're very useful. The potential weakness shows you that the market's got some indecision in there, and then eventually the market manages to move through, because we know outside of these individual bars that they want the market to keep moving to the upside. Bit of weakness on the overnight. You can see where there's a bit of play with the Dow futures on the electronic session, bit of selling in Asia, but the market fairly quiet now, and you can see also that the market's been brought off the selling here and heading back towards the moving average there. And also here you can see the buying coming in at this level here, bit of selling coming in. But again, I'll guarantee you that if it doesn't close 50% below, then the market will move higher, and that's where it just traded down to. Right, let's have a look at the daily market sideways. We can see we've had a bit of selling this week in this market. Yesterday, interestingly, you've got the market moving higher, back above the 20 bar average, and the volume no buying. Again, manipulation, moving the market back to the upside because they can. Simple as that. Again, we've got to close above the 76% if we're going to move back to the upside. At the moment, the market is range bound, which you can see here, stuck in at a sideways range. Right, let's have a quick look at the implied volatility before I bore you all to death with the ins and outs of being able to spot the professional money coming out of the market, and have a look at the implied volatility. And a very interesting picture here as well. We were talking about volatility heading towards that upper level yesterday, 1096, double top in implied volatility. And yesterday the market drops like a stone, 912. You'd expect that, but not maybe the such a big drop, because obviously the market moved higher from the start. We saw it take as fine support at the 23,400 level, then move higher. And whatever the risk they've had over the last few days, it looks like that has gone away at this time, and the market is free to move back towards the upside. So that's pretty much consistent with what you would expect in the underlying market there. Right, that'll do it for this one and this week. Have a great weekend. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.